Real talk, real people, real conversation. Week to week, this the place to get your inspiration. Go and sit back and unwind, sipping on your coldest glass of wine. This the home of girl bosses and the warriors. Went from tragedy to triumph and it's glorious. Ain't no question if they ask, they got that fire. This the podcast that came to Aspire. Welcome to Aspire Podcast, home of the real. Real talk, real people, real stories. Give it up one time for y'all hosts.
I was dancing. All right. Hey guys, it is Jay and we're back for another episode of Aspire Podcast. I have an amazing guy. I want to call him an artist, but he's a jack of all trades too. Like you do everything. So introduce yourself, let everybody know who you are.
What's good?
And guys, I'm live on the chat. I'm sorry, but I am. Go ahead.
What's good? It's me. I'm him, Polo Baby Flako, K-Town. We in the building. You already know what it is. Yes, I do a little bit of this. I do a little bit of that.
Literally, like everything. I'm like, okay, so at this point, you should even have your own podcast. I'm going to put that out there. Because you're not a talker like that? No?
Nah, I could talk, but I just feel like if you're a rapper, you shouldn't. I don't know. I don't think you should have a podcast if you're a rapper. That's just my opinion.
There's a lot of rappers that got podcasts out there.
Nah, shout out to them. Do your thing. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has their thing. Yeah. I just, my opinion is, it just depends what type of artist you are. You know what I'm saying? True. If you a certain type of artist and how you display your art, it's kind of hard to be like, it's hard to digest that art when
you're doing all the other things.
Right.
Okay. I get that, especially in like the prime. A lot of these artists, I'm going to get in trouble, but like they did that. Like they,
and that's what I'm saying. It's working. That's why it's working, So that's what
but when works for you. In the middle of the midst of all your greatness, you can't really start all these things. You can't focus on the music. Yeah. So an artist first, you're a hip hop artist. The legend, what? The new legend.
Yeah,
I love it. Okay, I heard the whole album. I heard it before I knew you were even coming here because I'm a hip hop head and people think it's funny when they say that, but it's true. Like I love the music, I love the art, I like the culture, but the culture has certain things that I don't love. What is your least favorite thing about the hip hop culture?
I think it's the mainstream.
Same.
The mainstream is, when they dictate what's hot and what's not. Mm-hmm. I think that's the part. It's really the business part, and there's levels to everything. So when you're at the highest levels, that's what you're gonna be, end up dealing with.
Do you feel like the mainstream, and these are levels like a Jay-Z, like a Kanye, like all that? Do you feel like they lose part of their artistic ability once they get to a certain level?
I think so, but it depends because once you get to higher levels, you do different endeavors, so you're not dedicating as much time to the artistry. But I would rather be on that end than
I get you. He's like, give me that Jay-Z money now.
You know what I'm saying? Get that bag, make sure you always gotta do what makes sense for you. And then when it comes to the art, at its purest form, like right now where I am with my career, even the other things that I am involved with are beginning to take a back seat because the music is starting to move. And the music is
what moves you the most, right? I already, I didn't know that answer, but I knew that answer.
Okay,
for sure. I pay attention to especially local artists because I have such a respect for, the low life. Mentioning low life, let me ask you, because a lot of people were like, who is this man that didn't know your name, everything? Where does it come from? I feel like I have an idea, but I want people to know.
So Polo Baby, Flako, they've been calling me Flako my entire life.
That's the Latino thing,
that's
guys.
Already, so I've always been Flako. I've rebranded myself several times. My first rap name, and a lot of people will remember this as well, as D-Star 407. So
I feel like I've heard that.
There's I was doing a lot of shows, dropping a lot of visuals, doing a lot of music. We were our own street team. We were booking little bars and having these events where we was, selling tickets at the door, and then selling our CDs outside and stuff like that.
You do it all from the beginning, like you said, from the front door to the visuals to the music to the everything.
Yeah, so we've always been tapped in on that type of time, but when life comes in, there's a lot of things that happen in life, and how the world works. So I fell off, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't doing music. True. And then I rebranded and several times, and I've always my entire life I've always basically wore polo. So and then I work with polo. So basically just put it all together, you know what I mean? And I got a baby face, so you know what I'm saying, Polo Baby Flako. It just made sense to just put it all together, and this is like, so then under that new name, I came out with an EP with Toast 187. So big shout out to Toast 187. It was called Final Form. So I heard
it recently. I didn't know about it before, but doing my little research on you. Yeah, good work too.
Thank you. Yeah, and then so now this is the Final Form. So Polo Baby Flako. This is me. I'm him.
Yeah. I like that. Like at first, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't understand it, and I was like, okay, because hip hop and all these tough guys and everything, and I was like, I feel like because you do stand alone to me, and you do stand out to me for me, only because sometimes people are gonna hate me. It's my show. I don't care. But I feel like sometimes in the local scene, right, things could get repetitive. Things could get, and it's not, sometimes the most flattering thing is to kind of mirror somebody, but I don't like that. I don't love it. I love people that really stand their own, and you're like, oh, okay, you're pretty young too to be so like really in your niche, like you doing really what I think your artistry, your personality, all of that like matches. And sometimes it takes 2 and 3 reboots of people for them to match their vibe, like all of it. Like I don't feel like you're ingenuine. I don't feel nothing like that, and that is rare, especially in the local scene. Like I love my people from Orlando, but you know what I mean. Like it gets repetitive. It gets a little boring. So when someone stands out, I'm like, okay, and the fact that you do visuals, and the fact that you could do your own videos, and you have.
Yeah.
So that says a lot about artistry for you in general. That's not common. Right. That's not common.
Yeah, I think it just boils, the way that I even got into the visual aspect of it is, when you're a rapper, you expect to see yourself a certain type of way, and I've always watched films growing up, all the classics, you know what I mean? But it got to a point where, like, it costs money to shoot a video.
I know. I learned that recently. I was like, damn.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a pretty penny, and just dealing with everything that I was dealing with at the time, it just made the most sense to, make the investment, and
that's smart.
Yeah, just make the investment. I'm YouTube University, so big shout out to YouTube.
Listen,
I taught.
Shout out to my people on YouTube that are watching now, because that's literally everything. What would you say is your favorite part of the hip hop culture, or why you really even got into hip hop?
I think hip hop for me is the underdog, like the overcoming of all struggles. To me it expressed what we were dealing with growing up, and whether it was injustices or even personal poverty and things like that we we didn't grow up rich at all. So
same.
You know what I mean? So like when I heard it, I just gravitated towards it, you know what I mean? And that's my favorite part of it.
You see, I knew I liked you because I feel like that's why hip hop rose. Really, it came from nothing. All these different types of music kind of put together, and it didn't have a name, it didn't have nothing, but it had like soul, it had heart. It gave people a reason to. It's like why I love salsa so much too, is because it gave really a generation that had nothing something to achieve or something to go after. So I respect that. Right. If you were to describe your art in even a sentence, what would it be?
Irony.
Why? Now I need to know. I said a sentence. He already had the word, but why? Yeah. Why do you think?
It's like when it comes to humans in general, we just like we walk in contradictions, So
I say that all the time. We're walking contradictions.
Yeah,
we really are.
So one day you this and one day you that, one day and it's just so many different ways that my music is, and it's just based off of all my experiences, and I've lived in different worlds. We all on Earth, but within this Earth, there's different worlds. So I've dabbled in I've seen every type of a world there is. You know what I'm saying? So
what's your favorite world?
The hip hop world, the music,
deep in it.
Yeah, the rap, like. Okay. I love going to shows. I love listening to other artists. You know what I'm saying? I love like diving in. I like to analyze the music. Like it's, and coming from up north. I was born in Jersey, and raised in Rochester, New York. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so a lot of my foundation is from lyrical. But when I moved to Kissimmee, Florida, when I was like 11. Okay. So between Kissimmee and Orlando, like. I love the trap, like the music, you know what I'm saying?
It's a different vibe, because I came from New York too, coming here, and I do feel like it's a poetic thing up north. Here it's about the actual music itself. So, but for me, it's when that world is combined, because I'm not mad at trap, but I need, you know what I mean? Like I need that lyrical feeling. I need to feel those words, because I'm a words person.
No, for sure.
When you moved here, what made you get into music? Because really, at 10, you're not doing anything. 11 years old, you're not emceeing. But what really got you there, especially in Florida?
Yeah, when I was up north, like as a child, like in school, I was trying to do like little b-boying. I was listening to freestyle and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then when I came to the South, big shout out to P-Ville, you know what I'm saying? Was, one of the first, like he was like literally like the second person I met in Florida, you know what I mean? And he's originally from up north too, but he's a rapper, you know what I mean? And he basically,
I know who he is.
Okay, for sure. So so he basically like taught me how to like rap, you know what I'm saying? And structure it and whatever. And then from there, like, I moved to Orlando, you know what I'm saying? Over there, like, Orange County, West Orange County, you know what I'm saying? And I went to school to West Orange High School and stuff like that. So that's when I like got into the T.I.s and the Gucci's and the, like, you know what I'm saying, the Jeezys, like, and I love it, you know what I mean?
I saw a podcast that you mentioned who were your top 5 rappers. I'm not gonna ask you that because someone already asked you that, but okay. I want to ask you who influenced your personal career the most.
Oh, it's gotta be Hove, you know what I mean? Okay. Because he's always implemented, like, to me, he's always implemented, like, you can still do the rap and and still live that type of you can come from that lifestyle, but again, it's different worlds. Like, this is really where you need to be at, you know what I mean? And he taught, that's why he did the blueprint, you know what I mean? He gave us the blueprint on how to maneuver.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. I get it. I feel like he's probably the most influential if you want to be an entrepreneur within the hip hop industry. So I get you, because you're already there. You're already doing that kind of work. You're just not one. You're amazing at rapping and you're doing it, but I could see you growing into all the things because you are an observer. I noticed that at the DJ Summit. Like, I listen, I pay attention to all my surroundings, so I knew you were recording, I knew you were doing all this, and I was just like, yo, but he's to be behind the camera, you have to be observant. But I feel like you're like that. When I saw you at the Sidney Poitier show, and you were just literally observing people. I mean, I'm world in.
Generally, I be moving and grooving, so that's just how I be moving. You know what I mean? I might be here, I might be there.
You do it all.
Wherever I'm at, we making it happen.
What is the saddest thing that you had to ever rap about, that you ever wrote, that was a personal experience?
That's a good question. I think it's a record called Book Bag.
Okay.
And on that one, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like how you've always, when it comes to hustling, people, it's always been around, you know what I mean? So,
yes,
but when you like trying to work a job and it's not working, that's what it goes into that type of time.
Yeah. When you're doing things that don't feed your soul and you're trying to make the money, but it don't really do
right.
for you. So listen, New Legend, I want to bring this up. Obviously, you're here.
For sure. It's me.
Why'd you name it New Legend?
Because, if you look at it from a whole, as far as like my life and my music in 407 in general, you know what I mean? If you look at it from like that perspective, D-Star 407, like all the work that I put in with, riding through Kissimmee, basically having different artists from different sides of Kissimmee, street dudes, like people that, you know what I'm saying, like all on one record, you know what I mean? And that's legendary in itself, you know what I mean? So and I had a really good run, you know what I mean? And from there, even when I fell back and I even came right back into the game, like this time it's at its highest level. And once you go at that highest level, it's nothing less than legendary. You know what I mean?
I love that.
You know what I mean? So when it comes to that, once we there, and the people that are now being not like before, it's always been love. Like people always show me love, and there's always been hate. That's already natural.
It comes with it,
right? But when it comes to now the handshakes and the I heard your music is not the same people. It's legends. So once the legends are saying that, then there's nothing else. It's the new legend.
I'm not mad at that. I almost knew your answer because I was thinking about it. I was listening to you on my way here, and I was like, this has to be. And people will think, oh, who's this guy? Cocky as hell. But sometimes that's the name of the game. When you're in the hip hop world, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. If you don't take yourself seriously, nobody else will. So pushing that, you got to be a little cocky. You got to come out here like you own it, because you should, right? When you worked with legends, we were talking earlier that you work with Block, and I love you, Block.
Shout out Block, man.
Always love
big
there.
Shout out, salute Block, man. Real talk.
Yeah, because he's very genuine. Who's your favorite local? The Kissimmees, the Orlando people, whatever. Who did you really enjoy working with on your albums? Any album?
Well, that Block project was crazy.
Yeah.
Like. Yeah. With when me and him got in the studio, it was like,
and it's fun.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, that was a real fun project. But outside of that, like really, man, like my L's Up brothers, you know what I'm saying? Okay. Like Don Prophet, P-Ville, you know what I'm saying? Guys that like, when we just get in the studio, it's already like flowing. You know what I mean?
Hardworking. Let's just make it work. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah. But as far as like, people that's not within my camp, I would have to say Block, because the way that it was organic. You feel me? Like the way that project came together was natural. It was not forced at all. Like
it felt very. You guys had good chemistry.
Yeah.
Like it felt that. Like I was like, oh, okay. And Block is just like, who doesn't like him? You know what I'm saying? Like he's just one of those people.
Yeah.
But he's hardworking. As crazy as this, like I know him. He works. He puts in the work, and I have a lot of respect for him, even though he's my loquito, crazy guy, but he's the best. Yeah.
Fire. Now we got some more records too. The thing that's crazy
what I was about to ask you. What's going on with him next?
Yeah. Yes, we got more records too. So it's like, everything in due time. You know what I mean? Like, so, but yeah, man. Big shout out to Block, man, and big shout out to everybody that I've worked with. I've worked with more people, but
they teach you things. That it just, I feel like there's always the right timing. Everything comes together, even when you don't expect it, and you work with people that you're like, wow, and you learn lessons that you didn't even know you were supposed to learn. What's your favorite of those lessons from whatever situation with who you worked with?
No, I think that when it comes to, I would say my favorite lesson is like, if you ever spend money on what you're trying to do, you're not wasting it.
Yeah.
It's an investment. You know what I mean? Like, cause that same $100 that you spending on some not, you know what I'm saying? Some that's not even worth it. Like if you putting $100 into studio time, like that you didn't do any that like there's nothing wrong with that. Like you know what I mean. So don't be afraid to throw money into what you believe in.
Correct. That's a good one. That really is. No one's ever told me that, but I agree. I started this from pretty much my living room, and then look, you put in the work, you put in the money, and sometimes you meet amazing people that support you in the long run. When you now that you're doing your damn thing, what would you tell a younger generation of maybe don't quit it, not quitting or persevering in hard times, because it's hard to be an artist, and it, like you said, it's financially draining. If you let it, you will be broke, but broke doesn't necessarily mean you're not winning. And I feel that too. Like, you put in your money to it, it's gonna come back to you. But what would you say is the best lesson or the best word of advice you would give some of these guys?
Any game that you play, learn it. So like, don't play a game and not know what you're doing, so whatever it is that you want to do, like, learn how to do it, then do it, versus just being out there doing it.
Doing everything kind of crazy, because I feel like and that's the problem with some artists, and I say artists, it's not just rappers, it's just art in general. They want it fast and they want it easy, and it really isn't that simple. You got to put in the work, you got to learn some lessons, and you got to really, really hone on your craft, right? When you sit in a room, and you've sit in a lot of rooms with other artists, what does that feel like, to be in a room maybe with people that you look up to, legends, if you will? You're a new one, and I don't think that new, honestly, but what does it feel like? What does it feed? What part of you does it motivate when you sit in those rooms?
It's an energy, It's an energy, and it's a genuine energy to be even. Once you get to that certain level, now the rooms are changing. The people in them rooms is different. So it's like more so, being grateful to be like, all right, cool, like, we in the building now, and it's. Another thing too, though, is like, it's all about the connection too, though. So it's like, just because you in the room with these people
don't mean shit.
So that's another thing too. So that question is kind of like a multi-answer, like, it's a multi-answer question, because I also run off like vibes, so we can't force anything, and do all that. So being in a room with some of these people, I've actually like learned, like, man, some of these people ain't.
So your legends be, because that's what happened to me.
Idols turn to rivals and stuff like that.
Or just like, oh, you was up here, and then you learn the person behind the music or behind whatever, the artistry, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, so that's another lesson right there, to like, to the people that are new at whatever it is, like, whatever world you in or whatever game it is that you trying to play. There's good people in it, and there's weirdos in it, you know what I'm saying? So so just keep that in mind as you go. Like, not everybody that smile and give you handshakes and hugs and all that, they're not really, like, just be aware. Be aware of that,
Who would you say is somebody that you met that really matched what you thought of them?
I would say Tony Touch, man.
Shout out to Tony Touch, actually.
DJ Tony Touch, man. He was, he was a real genuine dude, man. He kept, real humble cat, man. I was like, whoa, like, you know what I mean? He was great. He was a real good dude. So big shout out to DJ Tony Touch. Yeah,
I don't know him personally like that. We've been in the same room. It's kind of like you. I didn't know you, but I knew of you so much, but he's a friend of a friend, and they're just the most humble guy. That's all I hear. So shout out to him. Seriously, I really respect a man who could do their thing, especially a man, because women, we kind of tend to be a little more humble sometimes, but a man, especially in this industry, in the music, that really is who they say they are, and then is genuine and humble about it, that is rare. It's really rare. I respect it. You're like that. I did not know, I'll be honest with you, I did not know if you'd be humble. You know what I mean? Because you're quiet, you're doing your thing, you're not focused on anybody, you don't really talk. I'll keep it real. Like, I'm like, that man don't talk. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I be talking.
But you're sitting here having a eloquent conversation. So yeah. But initially I was like, nah. And this is months ago. I was like, I don't really know him that well. I just see him around. I hear good things. I hear your music. I was like, okay, I don't fan nobody. I respect people. It's different for me. I can't fan you, but I respected you. But I was like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna ever talk to me. Cool, but because I don't like forced anything.
Right,
Forced interactions is not for me.
Right.
And then Sydney's like, yo, go talk to him. I'm like, oh, okay. But then I didn't, because I didn't go talk to you when I was told to. But I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, okay, he's in the room, we're talking about art, we're talking about music, and you just chimed in, and I was like, okay, that's the most organic way I can meet a person, right? And that's the way I like it. I hate forced anything. I know I do a podcast. I will not sit here and be like, can you be on my show? Okay, for just anybody. It really, because it has to fit what I'm trying to do, but also make sense to you too. You can't be out here doing every show either, because it has to make sense to what you're doing. But I will say that I was wrong. You are not cocky. I'll be honest. No, I was like, I'm not sure if he is or not, but I don't like to judge that. But I respect a person that is humble. Yeah. That proves me wrong. And sometimes you gotta walk out here with your head held high, like you own the building. And I understand that, but I respect that you're not this guy that's like, I'm out here like this,
Oh, okay, yeah.
No, it's a compliment, I promise you.
Okay, I feel you. Word. Yeah, nah, what I'm saying, I'm not cocky, I'm confident. You know what I'm saying?
And there's a genuine difference, and out here you have to be confident.
Yeah.
But I respect, you're way eloquent. You use your words. You really smart guy. Like, I really got to give you your flowers.
Appreciate it.
What's next? You got this Legend album, the new Legend album. I listened to it all. What's your favorite song on this album? I have to ask.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I think like the FX4, that Fee Fi Fo Fum.
Fee Fi Fo. Yes, I heard it on the way here.
Yeah, that one's tough. And then I think Who Shot Charlie.
So I was gonna ask you about that, because that's my favorite.
Yeah, Who Shot Charlie. Yeah.
What made you write that song? That even the title, I was like, I had to listen to it first. I didn't at first, when I first heard your album, I listened to that song and then some of the others, and then I went in order, because I know that with artistry, sometimes the order of the songs matter, the intros matter. So I listened to it from front to back.
Okay, for sure.
But Who Shot Charlie? What was that about? What were you thinking? In a good way.
Right. Nah, I think that what my thought process went with the song was just like, Who Shot Charlie?
I mean, I was listening. That one I was listening to getting ready. I heard it all, but I was like, I'm gonna listen to this again. I get it. I mean, it's just, I was like, okay.
Yeah, that's one of those things that it's like, you never, how they did the JFK joint, like they showed it to us and we still don't know like how they did, so that's just like one of those, I feel like we never really gonna know.
I get that. It was like a whodunit over and over again. Yeah. Okay, I got you.
That's gonna be one of those.
I did like that song. It was like, not only is obviously you hear the title, you're like, okay, let me hear this song. But yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I really do. I like your album. I'm not gonna lie to you. And I could have come on here and been like, I didn't hear it, whatever. But I really did. I respect it. What's next? What are you doing now? You have a show tonight?
Yeah. So after this, we'll be doing a Tracks on the Track, if I'm not mistaken. Shout out to them boys. We'll be doing a performance on their set, and then I got some more music. I'm gonna have 2026. We're really gonna start to really turn up. We're gonna do some more visuals for the new Legend project. Okay. Yeah. We got a couple interviews. We're gonna do a whole run. We're gonna have
on tour on these interviews.
Yeah.
What's the best not interview, but what's the best question you ever been asked on a podcast? that left you like, dang.
No, I mean, shout out to the Copy Coop podcast.
I loved that one.
Yeah,
I watched it. I loved it. Shout out for real.
The chess, the chess question,
Yeah.
like what's the most important piece on the chessboard, and man, shout out to Copy Coop. That was a great question.
That is a great question. If you were to die tomorrow, what would be the song that you would want people to remember you by? Whether it's your song or any other.
Oh man, that's a good question. It's not every day.
You don't think about this stuff, but
yeah.
I do. I'm a weirdo. I think about it.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to get back on that one.
I'm gonna post it somewhere. If he does.
Because it also depends like on how I died. You know what I'm saying? Like,
shit, like if it was a tragedy or something,
yeah,
that's
like,
terrible.
Like if I died, like
it's a morbid question, but at the
right.
same time, it's a legacy question.
Yeah, for sure.
The type of song that you want to be remembered by should be descriptive of who you are as a person.
For sure. No, that's real. I mean? Yeah, that's real. But yeah, it would more than likely be like a Spanish song. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Maybe like a bachata or something. You know what I'm saying?
He's
like
romantico out here with.
Nah.
But bachata's sad.
It'll be exactly. So it'll be some. It would have to be something along. You know what I'm saying? Them lines, something that something like that. Some Anthony Santos or something.
He is Dominican at the end of the day, right? What is your go-to feel good? Hype me, I'm gonna have a good day type of song.
Jeezy, anything like with some Jeezy, some.
Cause he motivates.
So yeah, some Jeezy, some Gucci, like something that just get the blood going,
You know what's crazy? That you have an old soul. I don't even know you that deep, but I could tell, and you still ride with some music that isn't really like from the golden era of hip hop. Why do you think that is?
Well, I still listen to Pun, you know what I'm saying? I listen to, you know what I'm saying? I know.
I heard you say that. That's one of your top five.
I still listen to Pun. I still listen to Jay. I listen to a lot of Griselda, big shout out to them boys. That keep it true to that element as well. But if we're gonna play some hype music, I'm gonna play that. But what I generally play like on a daily basis though, the thing that I play the most is instrumentals. That's really
motivates the mind to write.
I'm literally always listening to like beats. I'm listening to a lot of like, even if it's not just hip hop esque instrumentals, but even if it's something else like rock or whatever, but just no lyrics, just the sounds.
Besides hip hop, what's one of your favorite genres of music?
Bachata.
He's Dominican guy. Listen, I love bachata.
Yeah, bachata slaps, bro.
Yeah, it's the lyrics for me. The bachata be having you hype like
it's
this
a whole vibe,
and
bro.
breaking you inside.
Yeah, it's like the saddest song, but you turned up.
Yeah, but
like,
you turned up. Like I was laughing because Salsa can do that too. I was laughing with my friend.
Shout out to Salsa.
Because I am a Salsa. It's funny because hip hop. But I always tell people like really listen to that's why instrumentals are so important.
Right.
If you listen to it, can you really not tell that it could be any other music, especially hip hop? You use all these different elements. You can put this and make it a bachata song quick. Just add a couple other elements. So I tell people like, no, I just love the music, music in general, jazz hits like my soul, all of that.
Yo, jazz be slapping too, yeah, for sure. Some sax,
Listen, the sound of a saxophone is one of my favorite sounds. On the world. Like, listen,
and low key the flute, bro. Like, when it comes to jazz, like the flute, because it's so get busy on the flute, bro. It be going crazy.
I used to play the flute. Don't ask me to play that shit now, because that was like 20 years ago. But I used to think it was just a very pretty soft sound. But if you throw that in there in any element, like salsa plays a lot of those type of instruments too, and it's just like everything for me.
Yeah, salsa slaps too. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Bachatero. Okay. I need you. I'm gonna cut this short because we gotta get you out on the show. But tell everybody where they can find you and your music.
Yeah, for sure. So at all social medias, Polo Baby Flako Flako. You know what I mean? Shout out to Green Fever ENT. Shout out to Cypher Sundays. I got a platform where we bring artists on.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So if you rap, you know what I'm saying, whatever you into, pull up. We do interviews as well and things like that. So, let's lock in.
I appreciate you for coming on. You taught me a lot. You taught me a lot about you and in general. So listen, he's a jack of all the trades. He does it all, and he brings you on. He's not a gatekeeper. I respect him a lot. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And we'll do more work. I gotta go out to one of your shows.
For sure. For sure. Happen.
Lock in. All right, guys. I wanted to listen. My VRM family is on here. Listen. You got the button for the new. Sorry, we live. You know how that goes.
But we good on time too.
Yeah, listen, I was making sure we gonna make sure you're good.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
So I wanted to, yes, there's sponsorship options, but I do want to shout out, and let me go to. We good?
I have it on your guest introduction page.
Guest introduction? Got you. This today. As of this week, I am partnering up with them. They're my new sponsors. They're family. At the end of the day, they've always been, but now we get to work together. So shout out to them. If you don't follow them, I will tag them on a post later on tonight. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna soon be on hiatus for the Christmas and the New Year's of it all. But I got one more show locked in for you guys, all right? So tap in. Love you guys. Bye.